Today we're going to talk about section 1.3, which is variables and expressions. A variable is basically a placeholder for any variable. A placeholder can be any letter of the alphabet except for O, because O looks like 0. So for instance, you might have the variable x used in a problem. X stands for a number, but until you know what that number is, x doesn't really have any value. So if I had x plus 2, I don't know what x plus 2 is equal to unless somebody came along and told me that x is equal to 3. Well, then I would know 3 plus 2 equals 5. A variable is kind of similar to writing in code. If somebody said smiley face is smart, I would have no idea who you were calling smart until I knew that smiley face maybe equaled Sam. And then I would know, oh, so you're telling me Sam is smart. So until the variable is given a value or the smiley face is given a value, it doesn't have a whole lot of meaning to you. Algebraic expressions are expressions that contain variables or letters and numbers or a combination of the two. So 2 is an algebraic expression. 2 plus x is an algebraic expression. X times y is an algebraic expression. Now you will notice that an algebraic expression does not have an equal sign in it. That's kind of what makes it an expression and not an equation. Also notice here that we are not going to go 2 times y. Now we're not going to know whether that x is equal to multiplication or it's equal to another number. So from this point on, you're going to have to write multiplication as a dot. So that means 2 times y. Now, they can give you the values for x or y or t or whatever your variable is, and then you have to evaluate that expression. So on this one up here, they tell me that x is equal to 15, y is equal to 26. So I'm just going to plug it in. 15, so the 15 is going to go over here for the x. The 26 is going to go over here for the y. So I have 15 plus 26 minus 9. So 15 plus 26 is 41. Minus 9 is going to give you an overall value of 32. So when you evaluate the expression, that's what the answer is. On this one, notice that there is no plus or minus between that, so there's an understood dot between them, which means x times y. So again, you're substituting the 2 for the x, the 5 for the y, so you have 2 times 5 equals 10. So when I evaluate it, that's the answer that I get. Same thing down here, 27 minus 12 plus 6. So 27 minus 12 is 15, plus 6 is going to give me a 21. So that's your answer for that. All right, now I want you to pause the video and I want you to try and do these 3 and then come back to the video for your answer. I'm going to substitute the 4 for the y, so I have 6 times 4, because up here is where you're going to get what x, y, and z are equal to, minus 4 times 3. Now remember, you have to do multiplication before you can do subtraction. So 24 minus 12 gives you a value of 12 for that answer. Over here you have 7 minus 3 divided by 4. When I substitute it in for the z, the x, and the y, you have to do what's above the fraction bar first. So I have 4 divided by 4. 4 divided by 4 is equal to 1. This one's a little bit more complicated. I have a 5 times a 7 plus parenthesis 3 plus 4 times 4 minus 15. So I have a 35 because I do my multiplication first. I do my parentheses first, but notice that has to be done before you add the 3 to it. So that's going to be a 16 plus a 3. So this is going to be a 19, the answer inside the parentheses. So I have a 35 plus 19, which is going to be a 54 minus 15, which is going to give me a 39 as an answer. All right, the other part of this particular section talks about translating a verbal phrase into an expression. A verbal phrase is just the way you write. So this is very applicable or very important for when doing word problems. So if I come down here and I read this, I want to turn around and take it from what I read to writing it as an algebraic expression. So I have 12 points more than the Dolphins scored. So I know that 12 points I can write as 12. More is plus. I don't know how much the Dolphins scored, so what I just do is choose a variable to take the place of what the Dolphins scored. So when I take it from a verbal expression, 12 points more than the Dolphins scored, to an algebraic expression, it becomes 12 plus D, and that would be your answer. This one, 4 times a number, and again, I don't know what the number is, so I'm going to make up, and let's just call it N. Decreased is subtraction by 6. There's your algebraic expression. Now I want you to try some. Pause the video and then come back and see if you got it right. 35 more would be 35 plus the number of tickets sold. Let's just call it an S. Okay, so I have 35 plus S. You can pick whatever letter you want to use there. Sometimes people don't like the S because it looks a lot like 5. The difference of 6 times a number and 10, if I'm talking difference, I'm talking subtraction. So 6 times a number, we'll just call it 6n minus 10. All right, your homework on this particular section is page 20, 14 through 42 even.